we have only one script somewhere, but we have multiple scriptures. The argument is, because there is no alteration, that is the truth. Because we have the freedom to think through, we have multiple scriptures, people interpreting in multiple ways. There are variations. How do we bring at least this generation to believe?
Yes. If there are multiple versions going around, there could be a chance of distortion. How do you regulate it? That's a very good question. There is something called trick photography. You take a camera, place your kid here, and just take this picture. The size of the kid would be more than you. Similarly, if the photograph is taken from a different angle, the color, texture, complexion, everything would change. You can make a fair looking person, fair complexion person look very dark. Similarly, you can also whiten a very dark complexion person also. So that's all presentation techniques. Yeah. And most of these presentation techniques actually suit an occasion. Let me take the example of multiple versions of the politicians fighting on various issues in this country. It's a point of their momentary aberration, actually, I will tell. No one really means that he is very much committed for the thought. It's only for a momentary occasion. If you go for attend an event, a banquet or a wedding, something, everyone has different points of interest. Someone would talk about the jewelry, someone would talk about the decorations, someone would talk about the food, someone would talk about the booze, someone would talk about the pomp, someone would talk about the filth which is coming around, someone would actually complain about, the neighbors would always complain about the paraphernalia which is actually causing them so much distress. So everyone have their different versions about the same event. So you should take you should have a macro view of an event before you accept anything in face value. Credibility of that face value. Because see, in our Tattva Shastra we have got several qualifiers to treat anything as real and as worthy. There are certain factors which would make us impossible to see and perceive any objective correctly. I don't remember the entire gamut, but I will give you some examples. If an object is held too close to you, you can't actually appreciate the value. If I just keep something little bit with me, can I see what it is? No. I can't see. Sannikrishtaha, Viprakrishtaha. If it is kept somewhere at a distant point, I will not be able to see it. Adityasya gatir yatha. Some objects are actually moving, but I will not be able to realize that. When would I be able to realize that? When I go to a distant place. For example, I can't see that the sun is moving actually when I keep seeing at it. But after some time I realize that okay, there has been some movement, I will be able to calculate it. And if there is a avarodha or tirodhana, if something is just kept under by this thing, you will not be able to see this because it is covered, this cover up. And if I don't know the value for some reason or due to indriya daurbalya, if my eyes are weak, I can't realize that this is a silver glass, silver tumbler. So there are several inhibitors to perceive the worth of a thing. So that is where Shastra Jnana, that would help you. Therefore, whenever there will be, of course, if multiple persons are reporting multiple events, same event in multiple directions, you have to take with a pinch of salt what he wants to communicate. For example, these days the BBC, whatever news they publish about India, it would be almost negatively only. In perpetually negatively, they publish everything. But living in India, we know that whatever they propagate is just rubbish, absolute rubbish. We all know that. Similarly, they have vested interest. With that, they will be reporting. You should be wise enough to differentiate between what is accurate and what is a vested interest. With your simple intellect, you will be able to get these things. Even the movie buffs, while giving their own feedback, they will also have a vested interest to promote a hero or demote someone. So with that, they give all their reviews, and without getting to directly to the content, never be biased to form an opinion. Just go through the content. If you don't like, then you may form your opinion. And for that, knowing the knowledge is the wonderful bridge. Without knowing the knowledge, if you go by translations and several iterations, by their own interpretations and by their own fallacies, you will be landing in the soup, especially in the matters of philosophy and traditional interpretation. Always choose the right bridge so that you are directly led to the content accurately. That is the solution.
Just like a lot of people say, oh, I don't like this dish, even though they've never tried it. They just assume they're not going to like it. You must taste it to form your own personal opinion.
Here there is something called as Aptavakya Pramana. It is also called as Shabda Pramana. Aptavakya is going by the words of someone who is a well-wisher of you and who is also a capable person. If a capable person is making a recommendation with your well-being in mind, then you should consider it. That is how we should take the words of our elders seriously and follow them. But at the same time, you are not precluded from investigating their utility. We are never the professors of blind following. We say follow, but understand the importance of it. What would happen if you do this? What would have not happened if you don't do this? So you should always be thinking both the ways and establish the efficacy of it or futility of any practice. Therefore, go by the words of elders. That is called the Shabda Pramana or Apta Vakya Pramana. That is one of our important guidance factors.